Hello everybody and welcome to this sort of special news video. This won't be in the normal format of videos that I normally tend to make, because normally I prepare information and sort of have a rough idea of what I'm going to talk about. I really don't for this. This popped up on the forums. Someone spotted this article by a somewhat reputable French source. I've got translate turned on, so the article's written in French, but I've just got it switched over to English for everyone's benefit. Obviously you can see the link there. It's all over the forums. There's 9 pages of stuff here on the forums, and it's very interesting. I mean, you got to take this with a pinch of salt, because this might be complete bollocks. But considering that this site is generally considered quite reputable and people use it and it's accurate, I suspect there's probably an element of truth to this. Whether or not it's actually Train Sim World 4, or if it's a paid update to Train Sim World 3, or a free update, something similar to Rush Hour. I don't know. I'm not in a position to comment. There's so little information. Everything everything is just speculation on the origins and the truth of this article. I mean, all will be revealed. So have a read. Train Sim World, blah blah blah. Train Sim World 4 is about to land. The series has had 3 major blah blah blah. At this rate, one would have thought the 4th instalment would arrive in 2024 in order to preserve the 2-year gap between each title in the series, but we recently learned a piece of news that contradicts this idea. The imminent release of Train Sim World 4 allows us to remind that the previous version of the game is withdrawn from the market once a new one is launched. This was the case for Train Sim World 2 when the third opus replaced... This is really clunky language because it's just replaced straight from French. This will be the case for Train Sim World 3 very soon. Train Sim World should definitely cost at least €40, which... €40 to GBP. Let's have a look. There you go. £34. What's SteamDB Train Sim World 3? I'm not used to working in pounds. I have to look up everything. Train Sim World 3. It is £8 at £9 30 at 70% off. So what's the normal? No, I don't know. It sounds about right, I must say. Sounds about right. It says €40, so about normal, I suspect, maybe a touch more expensive. The title is currently available from... yes. No, this is about the previous, but it would suggest a reason why Train Sim World 3 is currently on sale for very cheap. And this is the interesting bit. According to our information, Train Sim World 4 will be released on September 26, 2023, and should be available for pre-order from August 22, which is almost a month away. So you would have thought there'd be somewhat of an announcement by this point. And I'll talk later about some of the reasoning for why we should lend some thought to this, because obviously there's loads of shit on the internet. I mean, is there even a point saying that? And at first I thought bollocks, but it's a reputable source and there is some evidence to support it. It talks about upward compatibility, importing DLCs. We'll have a multitude of additional content. We were able to count at least 100 of them. I don't know. I mean, I was talking about the evidence. And the evidence sort of for this is that the roadmap is very bare. there's almost no new content in it. I mean, we can have a look at the roadmap. When Dovetail Live eventually decides to load. I'm really rolling off the cuff on this one. So let's have a look at the roadmap. Come on, where's the images? Are they loaded in? Here. So we've got 700 that's released, German Locomotive, and some packs, and the Preston to Blackpool route, and then the 420 that's been in production for ages. But there's like 4 new bits of content, but really only 3, and only 1 route currently in development. And production has kind of slowed down, so that would explain. Dovetail apparently aren't working on anything. Now they could just be keeping something under wraps, or they could be keeping this alleged new game under wraps. Who knows? But it lends support to this theory that Train Sim World 4 is on the horizon, because releases have been very thin and far between. They've had the Glossop line and the 700, but they've taken a while, and the Glossop line is pretty insignificant in the grand scheme of things. Short route, 1 train that's been recycled. And you got to think, well, what's the rest of Dovetail doing? Have they been laid off, or are they working on something else? And Train Sim World 4 seems to be something that they will be working on. I mean, the forums have gone absolutely wild. Some people are just shutting it down. Some people are trying to disprove it. Some people are trying to prove it. But these are just people like me, or like me with a better opinion, or like me with a worse opinion. So you can't really take anything as gospel, except this, that I found these 2 messages from Mike Goltz, who is the head of Train Sim Germany, obviously from the profile picture, and he's done a lot of work for Dovetail on their releases, and of course he's done lots of high quality releases for other things, including the 420 that's coming up. And he talks about switching to UE5 and why any potential update would probably not be into UE5. But interestingly, considering this person, Mike, would have almost certainly shut this down, because he would know, I reckon, he would know if there's a Train Sim World 4 on the horizon. And the fact that he has not said anything about whether it is happening or not, because if this wasn't going to happen, I suspect Dovetail would have jumped straight on and shut it down. If it is in development, but it's not going to release on the correct date, I suspect they're just going to let it run. And that's what I suspect. The release date is a little bit optimistic on that website. I think it's probably going to be next year. If it happens, if it's a thing, I suspect it'll be next year most likely. But the fact that Mike hasn't said anything at all, and then comes back a little bit later, and when probed a bit further on whether it's a thing or not, he again produces a vague reply that doesn't actually say anything, but importantly doesn't deny that it exists. I think that is, I mean, it's not proof of anything, but it's certainly something to consider. So that's all I really had in mind. Make your own mind up. Let me know what you think, and I guess I'll leave it with you at that. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.